Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I am your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog, also the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server. Doing very well, thank you. Thanks to all of you. All right, so today, going to go off my beaten path a little bit. I'm actually going to talk about a movie I don't want to call it binge watched, but it checks in at a god awful, how long? 3 hours and 35 minutes, 36 minutes if you include the nearly 11 minutes of credits at the end. Yes. If you don't know which movie I'm talking about, it's available on Amazon Prime. It's Watchmen, the Ultimate Cut. Now, a little background on me and the Watchmen. I remember when it came out as a comic book, 12 monthly issues. I bought them all, first print, and I think I read the first issue and kind of went, The art was good. The story confused the crap out of me, but, I bought the first one. I think I needed a complete set. Then that got the damage destroyed when my basement flooded, so when the graphic novel was available, I picked up the graphic novel, and I picked it up and put it down. I never read it. Found it at Walmart, I think, one time on sale for $7. Picked it up, never watched it. So now I have 3 versions of The Watchmen that I've never seen. So, of course, when Amazon Prime shows me that it has Watchmen, the Ultimate Cut, I figured, well, if I'm going to watch it, I should watch the Ultimate Cut. The Ultimate Cut, I think, added in, 25, 30 minutes. So this movie is still nearly 3 hours long without the additional additions. What am I going to say about the movie? Artistically, it looks fine. It looks great. Story-wise, depressing as fucking hell. The ending, unsatisfying. Yes, so that's what happens when you find yourself viewing something like this, and you realize that you spent over 3 hours, nearly 3.5 hours of your life watching a movie that could have been done in 2, maybe less. I don't know. So yeah, I finished. I watched it in like 3 parts throughout yesterday, and I really wish I'd instead continued watching the second season of Winona Earp. I mean, it's cheese, but it's a nice amount of cheese and biteable pieces, and bite size. Man, I'm really out of form today. You can make your comments about that. Feel free. I'm not going to stop you. But yeah, now I go. So why did I watch The Watchmen? Earlier this week, I finally binge watched The Punisher. The Punisher is probably one of the best Netflix series that I've seen. There were issues with it. I thought that the acting for the Iranian American special agent for Homeland Security was a little weak. Sorry to say. And spoiler alert, her partner, assistant who got killed, his acting was also fairly weak. And I'm not saying that I could do better. And I'm not saying that Ken Whitman could have done better, because that would require Ken to have a speaking part. And we all know how well that does for Ken. But what I am saying is that The Punisher was a well done series. Sure, he should have died probably half dozen times, survived wounds that he shouldn't have survived. And as far as we know, he's not a mutant. He's not superpowered. He's just a man, driven by rage and guilt. But it was a great ride. You always wanted to go on to the next episode. You didn't want to put your head down on your desk and say nighty night like I did with a point with the Watchmen. But the Punisher was really good. And what I tried to watch after the Punisher is like a superhero episode of Tavern Chat, but just pretend you sit next to me at the local pub and I'm bitching and complaining about TV shows and movies. The first Luke Cage series I really enjoyed. And it didn't hurt that I knew a lot of the locations. I could see, shots that were definitely taken on streets in Harlem and go, hey, I walked past that. I know that corner. I know it was there 10, 15 years ago. And I tried watching the first episode of the second season, and it didn't have that same feel. And that's why I stepped over to the Watchmen. My God. Watchmen, 3.5 hours, so that's like half a Netflix series, I guess. And I probably should have just watched Luke Cage. And since we're talking about the Marvel shows, and I'd like to get your opinions on this, because the Netflix shows for the Marvel universe or cinematic universe or whatever the hell it's called, I think Daredevil seasons 1 or 2 were 2 of the best. I think that, what was it, Power Fist? I can't remember the damn thing. Was the weakest of them all. I couldn't even finish that series. It was too much. When your main character, when your main hero is constantly moping and self-doubting, and I don't want that with my heroes. Jessica Jones, seasons 1 and 2, top notch. Defenders, there were parts that I fast forwarded through. I don't think they did justice to any of the characters in that one, because they were splitting time between all 4, and it just didn't seem to work properly. Well, I think all 4, and I'm trying to think, was Elektra in that one? You see, that tells you I wasn't enjoying it as much as I should have. But overall, the Marvel releases have been well done, but I think the Punisher overall is such a high watermark, and I'm actually disappointed that they are coming out with a season 2, because as I saw it, as I literally saw it earlier this week, it's one of the few, or the only, of these Marvel hero series that wrapped up where you said, oh my God, this character, the Punisher, is actually in a good place. Now, if you look back at the Watchmen, as I started out with this episode, I don't think, anything or any of them are in a good place. Well, most of them are dead. And many of our major cities in the world are destroyed. Yeah. But the Punisher, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but the ending, that is, if you're going to wrap up a series that can stand on its own, that's the way to wrap it up. It was good. The character grew. The character progressed. Frank Castle became, well, he started to heal. I should say that. He started to heal. And you can't knock that. So that's enough about me. I'm not totally bitching about superhero stuff, and why superhero stuff? Because we got supers games. I've owned a few, and I've backed a few, and I will be backing more. And if if I was going to play a superhero game, I would want it to be not like the Avengers, but more like the Defenders, because the power level, I think that power level works better for gaming. That lower end power level, not the Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Doctor Strange level of supers, but the Jessica Jones, the Luke Cage, the Iron Fist. There we go. Punisher, Daredevil. Yeah, street heroes. Not galactic saving. I don't want that in my supers if I'm going to play supers. I want galactic saving. I'll play sci-fi. Sci-fi is almost a supers game in a lot of ways anyway. So, all right, that's my quasi rant on the superhero genre. What can I tell you? I went from DC to Marvel, skipped around a bit too. So, that being said, if you're listening to this on Anchor, Anchor is the service that I use to record this. I record this mostly using my desktop logged into the Anchor website. I use their app there, and this weekend I'll be using my phone to record because I'll be up in the Poconos. It makes it easier for up there. But Anchor now allows listeners to subscribe. So even if you're not listening on Anchor, you can log into the Anchor site. You can subscribe if you'd like to. What does subscription mean? It means that you're supporting me. You're supporting the podcast. You're going to help make this show not just possible, but hopefully make the show better. You can they have 3 support levels, 99 cents, $4.99, $9.99. Listen, what matters more to me is not the dollar amount, as the amount of people, the number of people that will actually support the podcast or support the Patreon. You can either way, you're helping to support what the tavern does. And what the tavern attempts to do is to be a tentpole for the OSR, a place where people can gather, a place where people can share ideas. It's a neutral ground. I don't judge, as long as you keep your personal issues to yourselves. We can all have a good time. It's kind of like sitting at your neighborhood bar with people that you see every day, getting to sit back and relax. And that's what I hope it feels like to you when you listen to these podcasts. So, like I said, if you want to help support, great. If you can't, I understand. I'm going to do this anyway, but your support just allows me to make it better. Maybe put together a few special episodes. They require time. They might require a little extra money. And that's where your help comes in. So if you can subscribe and support or back to Patreon, great. If not, continue to keep listening because I'll be here every day. I know some of you go, oh my God, every day. I've been doing this now for nearly 3 months. Daily. I don't plan on going anywhere. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for spending time with us. Me. God bless. Stay safe. Roll your dice well. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Thank you.